Good morning. It is cold. It's not too cold, 50 degrees, but we are headed to a unit. I was there New Year's Eve, 3 units down at this condo. On the roof, the whole roof smelled like refrigerant, so I already knew it was going to be a bad day. Put my gauges on the first one, low refrigerant. I found a Schrader core over tightened and broken off inside it. Could not get it out. We're going to have to replace that valve. I just put a cap on super tight, gassed them up because it was occupied. And then the other units, hold on, we'll go back. A little bit of a background. We ran all new line sets, high power wire, low voltage, everything on the roof, and then the roofers came in behind us, and now we're having all these issues happening. So, but we did that like months ago, and right now we're having all this right after the roofers got done. So the first unit was that valve core for some reason somehow stripped out. Second unit was completely empty and refrigerant. I could not do a leak check for the life of me on that roof because as soon as my leak detector turned on, it was going off all over that rooftop. I think there's way more than just these 3 units with issues. These 3 units just happen to be occupied on New Year's Eve. And then the third one, same thing, just flat empty. Alright, so we're at a condo where we just ran all new copper install team and new thermostat wire all the way back to the chase, and we have 3 systems that is not working. So I gotta find these systems and see what's what. It's 203, 103. So I think it's gonna be here. 403, 2. So no, it might be down here. I see a door off of one. That's always a good sign. The door's just off. That's literally the one I'm working on. It's running. It's humming. It's trying, but it ain't working. Alright, let's see what we got going on. First off, what I do, check voltage. We have 208. Okay, so the voltage is good. We'll check capacitor now. Alright, so this one seems like a bad capacitor. So I'm gonna go take this out. We're gonna replace it. Sometimes these carrier ones are a pain in the butt. I broke the end, so I gotta get a new end too for that wire. But I'm gonna take this off and go get a new one. Now, after I got that running, went to check pressures. There's a lot of pressure under this and gunk in here. This stupid thing. And I can't even do anything because of that. So I'm just gonna take these screws out right here, so I can change this core. We're gonna pop this up and over just enough. This is a pain in the butt. There's no way to get that out without removing that. So if I can get this out enough, I might be able to get it. That might work right there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it. So that valve is broken off, like up in there, and if I do anything, I'm gonna mess the threads up. So we're gonna have to replace the valve. We might have to put a cap on there super tight, add refrigerant just to get them through the holiday. But I gotta wait because I only have one jug of refrigerant. It's New Year's Eve, and I can't use that whole jug on one call because this thing goes up 5 stories. So I can't use that whole jug on one call and then not have anything for tomorrow. So I'm waiting for another tech to come bring me some more refrigerant, and then I'm on to the next one. So the next one, I was just right next to that one, and it's calling for it. It's calling from the thermostat to run. We have power because I pushed in the contactor. Well, you can just hear it. So we got power. So we're going to check the refrigerant on this one. Seen how we just did completely empty.
Oh, man.
304 is completely dry of refrigerant. Alright, here's the story. All 3 of these units that are down, I'm not sure if they're all occupied or not yet, but they're all 3 have no refrigerant in them. And it's New Year's Eve. I don't have the adequate amount of nitrogen to even pressure test and leak check these. I don't have the adequate amount of refrigerant to get them all 3 up and going. And I got another tech bringing me what he's got on his truck, and I'm on call tomorrow on New Year's Day, so I'm not going to be able to help anybody out. If oh god, so this is one of those fun things you get to do in the HVAC world. So I'm waiting around to here to see which ones we should focus on. I know one that we got to get cooling tonight, so we're just going to crank a cap down on that valve core, add refrigerant, and get them through a couple days until we can get the valve, and then we're going to have to recover all that refrigerant again. Apparently we redid all these line sets and wiring and stuff all the way to the chase, and apparently the roofers came behind us and did a whole bunch of stuff afterwards. So walking through, they've literally didn't even put the screws back in these, and they just put a cedar block on them all the way down. And there's 2 units, one unit down there that has an issue, and there's 2 units here in this section that's got an issue. This one was actually done properly, so I'm not sure where the leak's going to be. So we can't necessarily say it was their fault. It could have just popped a leak, you know, in the coil or something after all this was done. But this one's slammed empty. This one's still got like 24 psi, and then one down there is empty. So it's gonna be fun. And the other tech just showed up. I'm gonna go meet with him. There we go.
Can we go on vacation after this?
It's Friday. You can go on a 2-day vacation. Unless you're on call.
I think you messed up.
Oh, that's that new seal he's on.
Alright, so update. This one far one down here, Willie just went inside, found a leak in the evap coil. I'm not doing much but making phone calls and while they seem to be doing everything. But this one is leaking evap coil. Now we just put about 80 psi of refrigerant just for a tracer. Probably not even that much in this other unit, and we're going to try to find it to We're only trying to put just vapor. We're not trying to put a lot of refrigerant in these at all right now. Since the other day we put refrigerant in them to get the guests going, and they're already empty. So this one here, we got, see, like 80 psi. We're just going to do a leak check on this one now. This one's actually still holding refrigerant. We did a pressure check on this one, so we just got to get that valve replaced. You can see we just put a brass cap on there and tighten down on it, and it's still holding pressure fine. So we're just gonna put this back on. So we're just gonna do a valve on that one, and then this one we're gonna do a leak check. Can you guys imagine though, showing up New Year's Eve after we ran all new line sets? Here's our work right here, all new electrical wire. We ran all new to all these units, and the roofers redid all the roof. Can you imagine the showing up and all 3 units have no refrigerant in them? So, and it was late, and I was like, dude, I don't have time for this. So we gassed them, and then we came back a few days later to do a thorough leak search when we got time to do all this. But dude, it was almost a nightmare. So thankfully we're finding the leaks. We are downtown in the center of Destin. I'd hit that. See, there's only 2 solder joints in the chase where the new stuff ends, and then over there. You want me to just find which one it is?
This one right here, I know that. I'm trying to find where it's soldered it. That your work, Willie? Yeah. Thank you. I did get a hit in here.
Leaking the condenser on this one unit. There was a car parked under here, and there's oil all over the ground. But we found out the leak is right up there, and it was dripping oil all over the car. It was great. I'll throw a photo up for you. But now we got to give an estimate to replace this section. There's so much corrosion. So I would end up changing it way back here.
4 foot.
See that good spot right there where the zip tie is?
There is no good spot.
Right where that zip tie is.
That's
And then,
the best.
yeah, and then come back up to there.
I would say good.
All right, so we finished up those 3 calls, diagnosis, gave out estimates. Now we're off to the next one to do that evap coil, but first it's about lunchtime, early lunchtime. I'm gonna head to Whataburger and get me some lunch, and then we're gonna get started on that evap coil, and then we're done. I have one other call, but it's just with a customer. I was there last night, and he just doesn't understand. One system's down with a bad TXV outside, and the other one's not heating properly, taking forever. It's because it's trying to heat his whole house. Alright, so we have already pumped it down. He's got his filled pieces on there, and I'm getting the coil ready. He's taking it apart on the inside. We're making quick work of this job. Which is something awesome that they do, I think, is they'll give you this epoxy coated coil. It's like black. You can see this is what the old one looks like. This is epoxy. So they all sit there and they coat it for you. I wonder why I don't know why they don't do the whole thing. And they got a little bit of vent damage, but we can fix all that. I'm gonna get this inside. And then he's probably already pulling the other one out.
I'm pulling them out. I'm not putting that on. The side.
Ain't needed. Alright. So I am the tool man. That's fine. I'll let him do all the work. I want to just get some pliers, get a coupler for the PVC drain line, and then I'm going to get the nitrogen started so we can start purging. My van's always a mess. That's okay though. Alright, Willie says he's done. So I'm gonna get my gauges on here. We're gonna check pressures. Testo is a pain in the butt sometimes with this new app and stuff. I'll just go ahead and just restart it as I'm starting up. Refrigeration. I'll switch that up. I just want to make sure it's all zeroed out. Let's see, it's way off. Okay. Alright, so we're pressure testing now. So I'm going to go ahead and get our vacuums ready to go. We're trying to make quick work of this job. We got stuff to do today. It's Friday. We got to get back to our families. The sucky thing is the service tech, the faster you work, the more calls they give you.
Yeah. First job's gonna take all day.
And then the rest will catch up.
We've already done evap coil 3 leak searches.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
Okay, we'll get that all ready. Alright, I think we're ready. Long enough. Trying to make this job quick. It actually is
I would have already been done.
It's went up, it ain't went down, so we're good.
I told you, I got faith. There's a reason I didn't even walk in there.
You gotta have faith. Now let's see if we can blow this dirt around into your tool bag.
Hopefully I didn't have no leaks.
You ready? We're gonna blow this dirt right into this tool bag.
Hey, technically it's still...
So we did a little extra on this one. We went down to 200 microns. Alright, so we're done with that evap coil. Knocked it out. Made quick work of that. And now I'm headed to this one, customers. I'm going to try to record a little bit of my findings. Like, it should be working fine. I was here last night. It's working fine. I'm going to do a static pressure test first. I have it in cool mode. So we're going to connect it here. So we are connected. Static pressure looks good. So I get a 0.23. We're gonna do a return static pressure. Literally right on the other side of this wall. Oh, done came undone on me. Okay. Return, where's this thing go? Is this connected? Oh, there it goes. We're at a 0.06 return. I'm just gonna kind of see what's going on. Cover that a little bit. 0.22. Static pressure. Static pressure is good. That's good. I'm done with that. I'm gonna put the probe in here. I'm gonna check humidity, which has nothing to do with what our concern is right now. But I'm also checking the temperature split live. Let's see, where's that hole at that I made? Here's one here. So there's our return. I don't like to get dust on that sensor, so I close it when I'm punching holes. And we're just gonna let that run for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and check it. Alright, so right now I put everything on. I can even see inside. Right now we're having a 15-degree temp split across that air handler, which is not bad. It's not terrible, but I'm gonna let this run and see what we get on subcooling. We get a 65-degree outdoor temperature, so it's gonna read wrong, but it shouldn't read too wrong. Should be pretty close. So I would be happy with a 5-degree subcool, and then this should go down a little bit. But right now, temperature wise, everything's reading as it should. So you got almost a 30-degree temperature difference here, which is perfect. This is right on, which is not ideal, but it could be because it's 65 degrees outside. I can take my sweatshirt off and make a charging blanket, but right now I just want to make sure. I really just want to go by temp split and let it run for a little bit and see where we're at. So we're at 68 and 52, 16 degrees, which is telling me it's okay. He has a heat issue. I just wanted to check refrigerant pressures and make sure it's not a pressure issue. I think we're going to be okay. Before he gets home, the issue is, here's the AC up in this attic access here. Returns there, you got a vent right under it, and then it shoots out and goes across the living space here. Static pressure shows that the ductwork is fine. All that's doing is dumping hot air into here. This unit here has a bad outdoor TXV, and it cools this side of the house. Does this bedroom, this, and I'm not sure about upstairs. It's a pretty big unit though. And then upstairs, it might cool this part here too. Probably not. Upstairs you got vents here, systems up there, all this here. Actually the system might be here. That'd be good. Alright, this is their 3rd floor system. He hasn't even been running this system. It's been off, and it's 70 degrees up here. Like, it's literally off. 72. So what is happening is you got one system heating this whole house, and all this heat is dumping out and it's rising up there, and he's asking why it's not cooling or heating quick enough. It was at 66 when they got up this morning, and the return's way over here, so it's not pulling in hot air, it's pulling in constant cold air, I think, from this side of the house, and dumping all this way. So it's kind of overworking, And I get here and it's 70 and 70, but it's only 65 outside. This is the heat with the heat strips. So it's doing good. Take a picture. Now we're going to test it with emergency heat strips. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to go to settings. Go to emergency heat. We're going to continue. Yes. It's going to do a heating with emergency heat, but I think it kicks the unit off. So we're going to let that run for a little bit. I'm going to go make sure that unit's still running outside. And it's not running outside, it just kicks off. So that's our issue, is you can't have both. You can only have one or the other. So I just kicked the heating back on. It's going to take a minute, but it then got to 84, and that was it for the heat strips. 98 it puts out for the heat pump. Makes a big difference. So I'm going to let it run now while I'm waiting for the homeowner to get here. And I'm going to see if I can get this temperature up past 70. Alright, that call is done. I'm not going to go back there until the part for the other unit comes in. But the scenario, I might have gone over it through and explained it way too many times, but I was going to tell you again. He has 3 systems on that. One side of the house is a 2-story. So he has one upstairs, it's turned off. One downstairs that has a bad outdoor TXV, so he only has electric heat. And then one to the far end that just covers the living room area and like one bathroom and laundry room. And that one trying to heat and cool 2,800 square foot all by itself. And he couldn't get it. It was freezing last night and he couldn't get it over 66 degrees. He was literally texting me last night and calling me first thing this morning. I don't mind any of that. I really like to take care of customers and make sure everything is to their satisfaction. So I know when you get a customer like this, you need to go through everything you can do and take pictures and show them and prove to them, which I did. I did static pressure, make sure airflow is good, make sure your filter is good. I did temperature when heat mode, temperature and heat pump mode, temperature and cool mode. Like I did everything. I did all the temperatures coming out of all the vents. I didn't do thermal, but I asked him if his vents were sweating in the summertime. No, I don't think the reason why we need to do thermal for any hot air or cold air intrusion. But besides, because there's no attic space really right there. So besides that, I just went through everything, explained to him that this system is working as hard as it can absolutely work to heat 2,800 square foot of home. It might take a little longer, and by the time I did all that, it was 69 when I got there, or got in there in the heat mode. And by the time I did all that, it was already raised up to 72 degrees. And I hope he heats. I think he put it in heat strip mode last night, and that was his mistake. But I hope everything is to his satisfactory. I hope he's happy. But I just want to let you guys know, if you're a beginner tech and stuff, don't get stressed in this situation. You want to make him happy. He's a really cool guy, really cool customer. So I definitely want to go above and beyond and make this guy happy. But sometimes you need to slow down, take photos, and explain to everything. And I made a mistake on my first visit saying it's all fixed, and then didn't explain to him what the thermostat, the user error was happening. So me coming out today, I knew that I need to go through everything, and I need to slow down. I need to go through it with him, and I need to explain everything so he doesn't mess with something and turn something off that he doesn't need to. But besides that, everything's working great, and we'll be back to do that TXV probably next week, late next week or something. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe, and yeah, make sure I have a giveaway going on in the post section, the community section of my YouTube channel. Make sure you get over there and comment below. I'm gonna let it run for another week or two, and I'm gonna buy one of those cheapo TOPTES leak detectors and send it to you so I can have fun and play around with it. until then, we'll see you.